Muhammad.
Assalamu alaikum all. Can you see my screen?
Wa alaikum assalam.
Yes, we can see your screen. Yeah. If you can mute while you're listening to Agha Rashid so that we can hear him clearly. Ahsantum.
And if you can record it as well, Agha Rashid, please.
I've started the recording now.
Ahsant.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين بارك الخلائق أجمعين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين سيدنا ونبينا مولانا بن قاسم محمد والصلاة والسلام على أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ربي اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ولا سوف يعطيك ربك فترضى ألم يجدك يتيما فآوى. Dear brothers, elders and teachers, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. When I was asked to do a talk, I was reluctant as I never did a talk before. But then I thought instead of a talk, I'll do a presentation because that is what I do for living. So it all became easier for me. And when I saw the topic of Wafat Abu Talib Salamullah alayh, I got more excited because Abu Talib's personality is very close to my heart. And the love of Ahlul Bayt, especially Janabi Abu Talib Salamullah alayh, came to me from my parents, especially from my beloved father. When we were kids, he used to tell us how history has victimized Janabi Abu Talib only because he was the father of Mawla Ali and he stand against the enemies of Prophet. I want to start my majlis with the condolence to Prophet Muhammad, Imam Ali alayhi salam, and all the Imams, including the Imam of our time, Imam al-Mahdi ajalullahi farajah. Today's condolence is a heartbreaking one because usually when we do these programs, we say son of Ali became an orphan. But today Ali himself became an orphan. Today we remember the chief supporter of Muhammad and his prophethood. So I will be covering the following topics which you can see on the screen. So in the start, I recited the following two ayats of Surah Duha. And surely your Lord will give so much to you that you will be pleased. Did he not find you as an orphan, then sheltered you? Due to limited time, I'm not going to go into too much details. And we all know this, when Prophet came to this world, he was an orphan. At the age of 6, his mother passed away. And at the age of 8, his grandfather, Hazrat Abdul Muttalib, passed away. After that, Prophet came to Hazrat Abu Talib Salamullah alayhi's guardianship, and for the next 42 or 43 years, Abu Talib was the shelter which Allah has mentioned in this ayah. Here I quickly mention Janabi Fatima binti Asad, the wife of Janabi Abu Talib, who played a vital role in raising Prophet. These two personalities, brothers, these two personalities prioritized the needs of Prophet Muhammad on their own children. When Janabi Fatima binti Asad passed away, Prophet said, indeed, today my mother has passed away. And he gave her kafan and laid her in the grave. So who is Abu Talib? His name was Imran. He was born in Mecca in the Hijaz region in 535 CE. He was the leader of Banu Hashim. He inherited this position and the offices of Sikaya and Rifada, which is basically responsible for food and beverage for Hajj, from his father, Janabi Abdul Muttalib. He was well respected in Mecca. Abu Talib is remembered as a gifted poet, and many poetic verses in support of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam are attributed to him. Janabi Abu Talib loved Prophet so much that there are several riwayas in the book. Once Hazrat Abu Talib was about to leave for a trading expedition, Prophet Muhammad wept and could not bear the separation from his beloved uncle. To this, Abu Talib responded, by God, I will take him with me. and we shall never part from each other. There's also another hadith where Prophet described his love for his uncle as a baby camel. It is a well-known fact that camel never leaves the baby alone, and the baby camel always follow his mother. One of the things which separated Abu Talib from others is that he was a defender of Muhammad. And when I say defender of Muhammad, I use the word chief supporter in the start. It is because in tribal society, a tribal affiliation is important. And despite all the odds and pressure, I'm not going to go into too much details, but Abu Talib maintained the support of Prophet Muhammad so much so that he refused to all the offers of kuffar. And in the middle of night, he used to swap Prophet's bed with his own children, Allahu Akbar, just to protect him and to keep him safe. I would like to say here that today, the Islam we follow is because of Abu Talib. It's a big statement, but he was a true Mohsen Islam. Allah have plans, dear brothers, Allah have plans, and he create means to support his plans. For example, the mother of Bibi Maryam, who was expecting a son. This is a waqia from Quran. We all have read this before. So Bibi Maryam, who was expecting a son, so she can dedicate him in Rahe Khuda, but she given birth to a girl. It was Allah's plan that, and the presence of Hazrat Zakaria at that time was the part of Allah's plan as well. Allah made mother of Maryam to hand over her daughter to Zakaria to teach her, to raise her, and to do her tarbiyah. As the Zakaria was there to support Allah's plan and to teach and raise Hazrat Maryam, same way Janabi Abu Talib was the part of Allah's plan to support and raise prophethood. Dear brothers, it's not a small thing. There are several ayats in Quran for those who supported Prophet, protected him, and raising an orphan. You all heard those ayats several times from this member. Abu Talib was part of the plan which was there several thousand years even before Adam. One of the things which always is very unfortunate that whenever we discuss Abu Talib's topic, we always defend his Islam. I believe defending Janabi Abu Talib is a disservice to his character and sacrifices for Islam. So I'm not going to say anything about that, but I would like to mention Tulaqa. Tulaqa is an Arabic term, and I got this from the Hadith of Prophet. Most of you are Arabic speaking and know the meaning of Tulaqa. Still, for those who don't, meaning of Tulaqa is where you pardon the sentence, but actual crime has not been forgiven or forgotten. So Prophet Muhammad used this term for the killers of Hazrat Hamza and Shuhada of Battle of Badr and Uhud. Even though the merciful Prophet did not punish them after Fatah Makkah, he did not punish them for the killings, but their crime was never forgotten. Several years down the line, dear brothers, several years down the line, when these same Tulaqa of Banu Umayyah came to the power, for the first thing they did is they started butchering the character of Prophet loved ones. And Abu Talib Salamullah alayhi was the victim of that conspiracy. For 42 years, Abu Talib has protected the Prophet and Islam. And today, those Tulaqa and the followers of Tulaqa have audacity to raise fingers on Imam Abu Talib. Here, I would like to mention another example. As you can see from my slide as well, it's Bibi Halima is the title there. I would like to mention this example. We often remember Bibi Halima, who looked after Prophet when he was a baby. It was a tradition of Arabs at that time to give their children to those Bedouins to look after them. As we do these days, we send our kids to nursery. The period Prophet spent under Lady Halima was very brief. I think it's a few months or a year, but we Muslim remember her till this day, and rightly so we should. But the person who looked after Prophet for 42 years, dear brother, we raise finger about his Islam. Allahu Akbar. Respected brothers, these are the tulaqas we should be aware of. On the 7th year of announcing prophethood, the pressure from Quraysh and the other tribes has mounted so much that Banu Hashim, 40 members of immediate family of Prophet Muhammad, moved to Shabbir Abi Talib. This was the piece of land which Hazrat Abu Talib has inherited from his father. Quraysh and the executive council, which had 25 members from all tribes, including Abu Lahab, Abu Jahl, Abu Sufyan, and Walid ibn Mughira. The reason I'm mentioning these names is, just remember these names. These are the Tulaqas, and their lineage later is the Tulaqa. So these people have signed a treaty to boycott Banu Hashim. That was a social and economic boycott. To understand this in today's context, is what word is doing to Iran. That boycott has lasted 3 years. So it started in Muharram and it finished after 3 years at the same time in Muharram as well. But those 3 years were very tough on Janab Abu Talib. He knew that Quraysh are planning to kill Prophet. So he arranged a security plan for him. He knew that they want Prophet to die of hunger. So he arranged food and drink for him. He, alongside Hazrat Khadija, played a vital role in protecting Islam. And in those early days when no one else was there, I'll say it again. Still, the Tulaqa has the audacity to raise fingers on Imam Abu Talib. Allahu Akbar. Sorry, I'm gonna go back to my slide. As we all heard this hadith from Prophet Muhammad, that Ali on the day of Khaybar was Kulle Iman, and he's going to fight against the Kulle Kufr. So the hadith goes like Kulle Iman is going to fight against the Kulle Kufr. I want to say one thing here, that Mawla Ali on the day was following the Sunnah and path of his father. As well before Hazrat Ali, Abu Talib was the Kulle Iman of his time, and he stand against the Kulle Kuffar of his time. All the Kuffars, all Quraysh, and the whole of the Makkah was against him, but Abu Talib refused to obey them and protected Prophet. So there are several lessons which we learned from the life of Abu Talib. And the most important lesson I took from the life of Hazrat Abu Talib is his support for Hujjat-e-Khuda. This is very important, dear brother. He did that while his whole tribe and family was against him. This is very important lessons for all of us. We often take sides of our tribes are for our identity only, and we should raise ourselves above these, especially when it comes to Hujjat-e-Khuda and Deen-e-Khuda. Hazrat Abu Talib died in 619 AD at more than 80 years of age, about 10 years after the start of mission of Islam. This year is known as Year of Sorrow for Prophet Muhammad because not only did his uncle Abu Talib passed away, but also his wife Khadija bint Huwaylid within a month of Abu Talib passed away as well. Prophet loves these two personalities so much so that he did Girya for a year and announced that year as Amul Huzn, like a year of sorrow. After the death of Hazrat Abu Talib, the Prophet said, "Until my uncle was alive, Quraysh did not have courage to say anything to me because Abu Talib was the protector of the message and the messenger." Imam Ali gave him ghusl and kafan, and Prophet walked alongside his body and buried him and did the dua for his shafaat. The word of dua, brothers, we find from the books are, "O uncle, today you joined our forefather. Today you joined our forefather, and may Allah reward you for the effort." And the Prophet said, "O uncle, you looked after me when I was a kid and supported me in my youth." And Prophet promised him a shafaat on the day of judgment. Abu Talib was such a shelter for Prophet Muhammad that when he passed away, Allah ordered Prophet Muhammad to migrate to Medina. Respected brothers, the shelter was no more with us. Inna lillahi wa inna alayhi raji'un. Assalamu alayka ya Sayyid al-Batha ibn Raisiha. Assalamu alayka ya Waris al-Kaaba ba'da ta'sisiha. Assalamu alayka ya Kafila Rasulallah. Assalamu alayka ya Hafiza Deen Allah. Assalamu alayka ya Ammal Mustafa. Assalamu alayka ya Abul Murtada. Assalamu alayka wa alayhi majma'in wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
صل على محمد وآل محمد.
I would like to request you all to recite Fatiha for all marhumin, especially for those who need it the most. Al-Fatiha ma'as salawat.
اللهم صل على محمد
محمد وآل محمد. بسم
أحسنت.
الله الرحمن الرحيم.
مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين